Good evening, fellow nerds of the internet. How are you? It's not afternoon, it's evening, Halakar. Hello, Slan. Hello, Halakar. How you doing? I'm going to do another of these tier list things, one of these interactive ones with you lot doing the voting, because it went really well last time when I did that impromptu stream for the 2-year anniversary. And lots of you voted, and you came up with a much more generous list than I'd have ever come up with, because you're all very, very generous. This list I've got in front of me is all the Moldveien Mensa Basic, Expert, Companion, Master, Immortal modules from about 1978-ish to about 1989. I haven't put in the Blackmore ones. I've just done the ones with B, X, CM, M, and IM at the start. But you've got the solo ones as well. So it's up to you where they all go. And I'm fully aware that there's going to be quite a few modules in this list that are a little bit obscure. In fact, yeah, I'd say about 3/4 of the list I've not read. So it's not going to be my input on a lot of these. It's just going to be down to you guys and gals, if any gals are popping in. But I have something to accompany me while I'm collating your opinions. I have a bottle here of Old Hooky Premium Ale to enjoy. I'm hoping somebody does know them, because Michael, because it could be a wonky list. In fact, we might end up not ranking a few of them if nobody knows them. There's one person who definitely will know them if he pops in, and that's Mage. He knows almost everything there is to do about basic D&D. So let's see. The Blackmore modules were officially D&D rather than AD&D, weren't they? Right. Okay, let's get my screen arranged so I can see chat and get the tier list up, because I've only got one monitor and it's all a bit awkward. If anyone does want to pop in, you're more than welcome to do so. If somebody can give any really enlightened input, the link is in the Discord. I can put it in chat if you want. Just let me know. Right. Remember the voting. Dweeb, geek, nerd, dork, and table flip. S, A, B, C, and D. Right? So what I want to see from you are votes of either S, A, B, C, or D. Okay? And we're going to start. And our first one is B1, In Search of the Unknown. Off you go then, chat. There are 8 of you in here. I'm hoping a few more will come in as the stream goes on. I know I don't normally stream on a Tuesday night. I paid for the StreamYard extra hours last month, so I just thought better use some of them. Hence an extra stream tonight. All right, so it's up to you guys. Hello, Crafting Gamer. Where do we put In Search of the Unknown? See, Gene, you've gone straight in for S. Good intro, but not the best. Isn't S tier the very best? I'll shut up. I don't want to influence you all. Oh, hang on. You know what I've done? You know what I've done here? Spot the intentional mistake. Geek is supposed to be the top tier. S. It's S, A, B, C, D. I've accidentally put dweeb on top. So whoopsie daisy. I've accidentally put them out of order. Right. Shall we start again? S, A, B, C. Yeah, S is top. Then it's A, then it's B, then it's C, then it's D. No, thank you, Crafting Gamer. That's very, very, very kind. There we go. So B1 is getting there are going to have to be a few ones we may have to skip. I wonder if the mage will pop in because he's the one who'll know most of these. Okay, right. It's almost universal. It's almost universal. The way I'm going to do it is if there's a clear one which is ahead of all the others, that's what it gets. Otherwise, it'll be the average. And almost everybody has given an A grade, the nerd grade, to B1. So it's going in nerd. There we go. There's our first one. There's our first one. The mage will indeed arrive precisely when he means to. In fact, I don't even know if he's online at the moment. So he might well be busy. Might be making videos for us. Right. Okay. B2, the Keep on the Borderlands. B2, Keep on the Borderlands. Cast your votes. We have an A from Slan. An A from Michael. And an A from Halakar. And Dark Winter. There's an A from Dark Winter. Four A's. There's 12 people in chat, so there is time. There's a chance for it to change. Dweeb. It's a B from Ian McDonald. Duralumin goes for the S, and Gene goes for the A. So it's got 5 A's, an S, and a B so far. It's firmly in A, unless we get a sudden rush of S's or B's. But I don't see that changing too much. Okay. Keep on the Borderlands. Goes in A. Goes in nerd. B3, Palace of the Silver Princess, the green one, the one we were actually allowed to buy. So cast your votes now for B3, Palace of the Silver Princess. There's a lot of modules to go through on this one. Hell of a lot. I should have added a new category, shouldn't I? We don't know. Because there's going to be a few where we don't know. But it's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. Dark Winter says B. Halakar abstains. Halakar. Hello, Daniel. A B from Gene. Got an A and 2 B's at the moment for B3, Palace of the Silver Princess. Slan's abstained as well. Few abstentions on this one. Not many people seem to know Palace of the Sword Princess all that well. It was the first module I ever played. My friend Ian ran it for me in his kitchen. I don't remember much of it. I do remember from that session. I remember I was playing all the characters because there was only the two of us. And my first character I ever rolled up was a dwarf. And the mad guardsman Travis got him. I do remember meeting up with the two female thieves and them robbing me blind. A B from Daniel. Okay. And I seem to remember the way my friend ran the doppelganger, in that those at the front of the line weren't noticing that the person at the back kept disappearing. What happened is he said that the doppelganger was silently murdering the person at the back and then taking their form and moving up one. So he started taking the character sheets off me for those who were at the back of the marching order, and it was too late before I realized that something was happening. It does have classic cover art. It has really, really good cover art. Okay, it's going in B then. It's going in B. That's the majority of the majority vote. Okay, next up, B4. Yeah, Gene Wells's version of B3 was very imaginative, but it was an absolute mess. It looked like a 1977 copy of Dragon in terms of its layout. It was all over the place. And besides, it's for basic D&D, generally a kid's introduction to the game, to have a few elements that were a little bit adult. I don't think she quite got the memo. Anyway, B4, The Lost City. Where do you put that? We have our first S from Halakar. Yeah, it seems. I know B1 and B2 looked a little bit rough in their presentation. And the Moldvay version of B3 had some dodgy artwork, but the text was cleaner. But the Gene Wells version of B3 looked rougher than both B1 and B2 internally. Dark Winter. All right. Okay. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 S's and a dork. Well, the majority have it at the moment with the S's. The Lost City is heading towards S, unless there's a sudden run of A's and B's. Hello, Edor. Not seen you on the channel for what? Thomas. Hello, Thomas. I don't think I've seen you on the channel before. Right. Okay. It looks like we're on 6 S's and a C at the moment. So with 12 in chat, we have our first S. Lost City goes into S. Right, B5, Horror on the Hill. Where would you all place that one? Ah, Avon from the channel. All right. Okay, not seen you for a while. In fact, I've not seen you on my channel. I've seen you obviously in Aaron's chat, but Daniel, is that S vote for B5 or is it for B4? We've got a vote, a B for Horror on the Hill. B5 is a dweeb. It's bang average. Okay. We can't give everything an S. You're right. We can't give everything an S. Dark Winter says C. I'm of the opinion that only the very best gets an S. So, and if you watched my video I did of my version of these yesterday, you followed me almost to the T, apart from the fact that I had B3 as a dork module. Gene reckons it's a B. I've played B5 as a player. We got about halfway through it and got massacred. It's too hard for first level adventurers. Far too hard. It's a level 2 or level 3 adventure at very minimum. I know there's a dragon in it at some point. It's like, ouch. Any more votes for B5? Edor gives it a B. It's got 4 Bs and a C so far. Yeah, it's the wilderness set. We got through all the wilderness section when we played it. More through luck than anything, I think. But as soon as we got to that castle dungeon bit on the top, we just got battered. I was gutted as well. I was playing a magic user with every stat between 9 and 12. He's got 4 hit points, and I'd got him 3/4 of the way to 2nd level, and he died in Horror on the Hill. And it's a good effort with a basic D&D magic user in a 4-player party of all first level characters. But anyway, yes, 2 little old ladies in a cottage in the middle of a deadly wilderness. I don't remember them being home when we visited those, so maybe the DM was being generous to us. So Horror on the Hill gets a B. Right, B6, The Veiled Society. This one was something different. Something different. It was very short. You only got about 16 pages of adventure. But I believe it was the first city module for basic D&D, which was unusual. Did it go down well with you a lot, though? I played it. Played it a couple of times. I enjoyed it as a player. Never run it. I haven't read it. I just remember it being pretty short, but I remember it being quite evocative, quite enjoyable. Anyway, I won't influence you. Anyone want to vote on? Oh, okay. We've got a C vote there. Is that because it's short and linear? A B and a C so far. An A from Gene. I like the idea. I wouldn't give it an A. G1 is only 8 pages, but G1, it takes 20 to 30 hours to play through. B6 doesn't. You could put Veiled Society into B4. Down in the city itself at the bottom, maybe. It's had 3 votes so far, 1A, 1B, 1C. Going back to G1, I mean, G1, you all know I love it because it is just, it demonstrates how to pack a lot of adventure in not very many pages. Gygax was so verbose when he wrote his rules, but he was the opposite when he wrote his adventures. He knew how to write an adventure. He knew how to create rules, but not put them on paper. But he knew how to write an adventure. Once for each O. We've still got just 3 votes on B6. An A, a B, and a C. Does anyone else want to cast a vote? And does anyone know anything about it? 12 people are watching. Yeah, G1 is an amazing example of lots of content in a little area. G2 and G3 are the same. I mean, G3, I think my players were about 30 hours into it. They'd done about 2/3 of it when it wiped them out. G2, we spent about as much time in that as G1. It's just that for 32 pages, the G123 compilation is just looking at 60, 70 hours to have a chance of getting through them, which is fantastic. And that's playing them pretty much as is. That's without the DM rolling in other external influences to it. Okay, so with just 3 votes, I'm going to have to take the average for the Veiled Society, which is a B. And here's where Mage's Musings turns up. Here's someone who does know these adventures. I'm going to give you a chance to vote on the Veiled Society, Mage. I've just dropped it in B because that was the average, but not many people knew it, so we didn't have many votes. What do you know about Veiled Society, and what do you think about it? Okay. B sounds right. It's not bad, hasn't it? Yeah. As I've said, it's too short. It's a bit linear, but it's got some good ideas. Exactly, Thomas. Gygax, he didn't beat you over the head. He beat you over the head with his rules sometimes, but he didn't beat you over the head with his adventures. Okay, let's go on to Rahasia. B7. I don't know much about this one. So I've got no real input on Rahasia. I know it was an RPGA module first, and it was redone for was it RPGA? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was B7 was a re-release, a repackaging and a re-release. I don't know how similar it was to the original, but if anyone knows B7, cast your votes now. Hello, Chris. Right, Mage gives it an A. There we go. And Ian gives it an A. Chris gives it a B. So it's got 2 A's and a B so far. Okay, nostalgic. Eh? Well, that's fine. That's fine. If you opened up a copy of Roget's Thesaurus and look at the term railroad, one of the words in there as an option would be Hickman. Dark Winter gives it a B. Okay. Having said that, I mean, Tracy Hickman wrote Pharaoh, and even though the intro was and the first bit is on the rails, the pyramid itself isn't. The pyramid itself is great. And you could argue that Ravenloft, once you've been trapped in the land, you have got the freedom to move around. He wrote good adventuring locations. It was just very clumsy how he put you there. Any more votes for Rahasia, though? B7. I've got 2 A's and 2 B's for it at the moment. We'll get to Isle of Dread in a bit, Thomas. Mage, Keep on the Borderlands got 7 votes, 5 A's, an S, and a B. So it gets an A. B4 had a lot of S votes. So at the moment, Rahasia is A.5. It's an A- or a B+. Anybody else gonna vote? Because at the moment it's on the fringes of A and B. Absolutely half and half. Mage, I read that as saying, finally posted my new vid after hiccups. I thought you'd suffered from hiccups. So that's why you weren't here earlier, because you got hiccups. Right, okay. Right. Rahasia's going in A because some of the B voters are changing their minds. Right. A new Ace Eric video. I'll be watching it as soon as we finish this. Premiere set for 7 p.m. That's going to be 11 p.m. my time. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Right. Journey to the Rock, B8. I've never played this. I've skim read it. I've read about it. I have opinions from what I've heard and what I've skim read, but I can't give a. I've never run it. I've never prepped it properly, so I don't know it. Don't know it that well enough. But B8, Journey to the Rock. Buckaroo Bonsai. We'll come to those soon. The X4, 5, and 10 series. Daniel goes for a D for B8. No one's gone for Table Flip yet. Exactly. Chris, it didn't excite me either. And that's the problem with it. It wasn't a fun read at all. And I thought the cover art was probably one of Larry Elmore's weakest pieces. It really had nothing interesting about it. Yes, the stuff he does is pretty, but it just didn't pop. Right, it's got 2 Ds, a C, and a B so far. We've already voted on Keep on the Borderlands, Buckaroo Banzai. It got 5 A votes, an S and a B, so it goes in A. It does. I mean, Larry Elmore, when he got it right, he got it very right. And I have heard that he was a landscape artist, and he's great at his landscapes. His backgrounds are superb, but his figures sometimes are just overposed. His black and white work in the rule books was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, but his color paintings are sometimes overposed. $17 people in chat now. Only 4 votes for Journey to the Rock. B8, what do you reckon? What do you reckon? Yeah, I mean, the image, as someone who started with Redbox Basic, Mensa Basic, those Eastleigh and Elmore images of the various character classes, they're how I think. They're how I think of the races and how I think of how the classes will look, because they're just so good. Right. Okay. Yeah, it looks like Journey to the Rock is going to go in C, because that is the average. That is the average of what it's getting. It's leaning just a little bit towards D, but it's a C minus. So that's where it goes. Right. Castle, Caldwell, and Beyond. B9. Castle, Caldwell, and Beyond. Journey to the Rock should be the prequel video to Union of the Snake by Duran Duran. Right, we've got a big D from Thomas. He's given it D 3 times. You particularly know what I think of Castle, Caldwell, and Beyond. Daniel don't like it either. Now, Ian, I think the cover art's garbage as well. I think it's appalling. At least it has knockers, yes. But I think that cover it's just gratuitous cover art. Exactly, Buckaroo Banzai. Journey to the Rock, it just doesn't grab your attention. Right, we've got 4 Ds so far. There's no E. I probably, after yesterday's video where I could have put Forest Oracle and Castle Greyhawk in their own category below. There was bad, and then there's them. Mage gives it a C. I know you like bits of it, Mage. You've told me you've run it and you like bits of it. it's designed for beginners and kids. It's designed to be simple, and it is. So it works as it's designed, but it just feels. Who did the cover art to it? Is that a Clyde Caldwell piece on the cover? I think it is, isn't it? Look forward to it, Mage. Look forward to it. I still think you're 4 hours behind me, aren't you? So it'll be 11 o'clock my time. It is a Clyde Caldwell, but Clyde Caldwell, he did some great work. Ravenloft, Clyde Caldwell, Ravenloft, stunning throughout. Right. Okay. Well, we've got 5 votes, 4 of which are D. 4 of which are D, and 1 is a C. So this is the first one to go into D. Right. Now we go on to the B1 to 9 collection. This was abridged versions of modules B1 through 9 with suggested routes through the modules, tying them together in some higgledy-piggledy manner. I'll hold back my opinion of it until you've voted. I'm enjoying this beer, I'll tell you that now. Old Hooky Premium Ale. Very, very nice. Halakar, very generous of you. Give the collection an A. Yes, it did make collecting them very easy. I didn't. I was looking at it on eBay about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was going for about 20 quid. And I hadn't got physical copies of any of the basic modules left anymore. I'd had a few when I was younger, but they'd all gone, and I considered it. But then I decided I want to get the originals instead, and then I ended up not getting any of them. In fact, my entire basic and expert physical collection is behind me at the moment. I've got Old School Essentials, I've got Labyrinth Lord, and I've got X Solo and X1. They're the only physical modules I've got now for basic expert D&D. Okay. In search of adventure, the Keep of the Silver Princess and the Lost City on Caldwell Hill. That'd be a good way of describing it, Slam. Yeah, let's get that up. There we go. I had a lot of the physical modules when I was younger. I had B1, B2, B4, X1, X2, X4, X5. I had the Cook Expert book, the Cook Moldvay Expert book, and I had the Mensa Red Box set. Those are the things I bought for basic and expert back in the day. So we've got an A. I've got to mark these down now. B1 to 9. We have an A from Halakar. We have a B from Jean. We have a C from Thomas. We have a C from Dark Winter. We have a B from Mage. No, there's no E tier, David. We stop at D, table flip. So 5 votes at the moment for B1, the B1 to 9 collection. 1A, 2 Bs, 2 Cs. And Ian goes for a C. That's 3 Cs now. Were Duran Duran as big in America as they were in Britain? Because they became massive when I was about 11 or 12. And for about 3 years, it was them versus Wham for the biggest band in Britain, so between about 1982 and 1985. And I always preferred Duran Duran. I will admit, John Taylor, great bassist. Okay, Simon Le Bon was not the greatest vocalist, but he was a good front man. And some of their early songs, Careless Memories, is a great record. Wasn't too keen on the mid stuff, but when they came back and they did Ordinary Worlds and Come Undone, those are 2 absolutely outstanding pop songs. Thing is, in Britain, Wham were the ones that the girls tended to like, and Duran Duran were the ones that the boys tended to like. The girls fancied Duran Duran, but listened to Wham, whereas the boys listened to Duran Duran. The Jam were a good band. Halakar, I won't ask you why Careless Whisper hit you at the right time, but given that you're 5 or 6 years older than me, that means you'd have been about 18, 19, 20 when that was in the charts. I'd imagine that was the song that would have been played at that time on a night out. Did the boys fancy Wham then? I can't say for everybody else, but all I know is that I hit that time in my life just as Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles first appeared on our televisions. So for me, it was Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles when I was about 14. Yes, indeed. Okay. There's no stand with the change of vote for from one player, Edor, then there's no standout one. So who is it? Yeah, who's agreed with me with Susanna Hoffs? Yes, Thomas. Yes. She still looks good. She still looks great. It's going in dweeb. Right. My opinion on B1 to 9, and somebody has already posted it. It was one of those annoying cash grabs where it didn't put everything you needed in there. It only had a bit of B1, for example. And the way it was all linked together was just pathetic. I thought I'd have given it table flip personally. B1 to 9, I'm afraid. Hello, Mobius. Yes, Susanna Hoffs did indeed have that look. Right, B10 now. Night's Dark Terror. Who's up for voting on B10? Night's Dark Terror. Now, I didn't put it in my video yesterday because I've only read bits of it. I've skim read it. I've never prepped it, run it properly. But I think you know my opinion on what I've read. ALS. You didn't need to listen to Susanna Hoffs. You just need to look at her. Yes, John. Yes. Top Dream girls all need walkers now. Yeah. Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees. Yeah, we're on B10, Slan. We're on B10. Jean doesn't like it. Jean doesn't like it. It's expensive. B10's expensive to get hold of now. Samantha Fox. Yeah, there were two things to be said about Samantha Fox. Calstaff, hello, and an S. An S. An A from Ian. You preferred the bass player in the Bangles? I didn't like it when I was in my teens, but I have to say my opinion has changed as I've got older. Yeah, Susie and the Banshees. See, I don't listen to the Bangles aren't my sort of music. Susanna Hoffs is my sort of girl. That's everything about the way she looks. But Susie and the Banshees is my sort of music as well. I don't remember Vixen. I wasn't it. I mean, they were an all-girl rock band. I wasn't into hair rock at all. I know it was a big thing in America, but I was never a hair rock fan. I was listening to Susie the Banshees and Echo and the Bunnymen and the Cure and the Sisters of Mercy. So I like the Bangles and Judas Priest. The problem with Michael Steele is that she was called Michael. You're right, Mike. Buckaroo Bonsai, S tier. Another band I like from the 80s, Depeche Mode. They got better as the 80s went on. All right. So far, B10 has 6 votes. It's got 3 S's, 2 A's, and a C. So the law of averages puts it as an A at the moment. But there's 25 people in chat now, which is great to see. Oh, I'm burping. Now, the thing is, with Depeche Mode over here, they were a nerds band. The girls were more into your Whams and things like that. And Depeche Mode were the sort of band that us odd people were listening to. So it was look, everyone in my D&D group listened to Depeche Mode, The Cure, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. What other bands were we all listening to at the time? Orchestral Maneuvers in the Dark, A Visage, all that sort of stuff. Human League, another band. It said that's very different to what it was like over here. They were a nerds band, so us nerds jumped on that. Right, Buckaroo Banzai has given it an S tier. Yeah, I mean, I liked post-punk, the sort of the new wave post-punk, and all the slightly moodier synth stuff. I didn't really like the dance synth stuff at all. It wasn't my sort of thing, but the moodier synth stuff and post-punk. So yes, New Order, perfect example. I mean, those of you who are in my Discord channel will know about me and Joy Division. Joy Division are my favorite band of all time, and I was on the British quiz show Mastermind answering questions about Joy Division, sat in that black chair. So that's my opinion. That's my music in a nutshell. Right, at the moment we're up to 4 S's, so B10 is squeaking into the S tier. It's got a majority of S's. It's got 7 votes, and the majority of those votes are S tier. No, I wasn't a big Def Leppard fan. Though hair rock wasn't my thing. The Clash, yes, good band. Right, B10's going in S tier. Fully deserved. From what I've read of it, fully deserved. Right, 2 I get confused now. Transvision Vamp. Transvision Vamp. Wendy James, though, have you seen what she looks like nowadays? She's an advert for not having plastic surgery. If you're allowed to go and Google Transvision Vamp and look up Wendy James now, you'd be horrified. Horrified. Anyway, King's Festival, B11. I'd love to play B10. I'd love to play in B10. Michael Jackson ain't my thing. Let's say. Yeah, but Wendy James has won worse than most. B11, King's Festival. There was, yeah. Dark Winter gives it an S. Now, I have seen some people say it is really, really good, but it didn't get much exposure. Yeah, I've got no opinion of it. No opinion of it at all. So at the moment we've got an S and we've got a B, and the rest of us are like, oh, I don't know. Oh, we've got an A from Gene. Carl Stuff goes B, maybe a B plus. Joy Division did have a sad history. Very, very sad history. They B11 is linked with B12. Oh, so there's a B rating for Helico as well. Okay, I didn't see that one. So we've got 3 B ratings, an A and an S. And Mage gives it a B as it's got 4 B ratings, an A and an S. Yes, Joy Division were a massive influence. Joy Division, basically, I believe they're the first group to ever have their music ever be described as sounding gothic. Trent Reznor, massive fan of them. Almost all the moody indie stuff and post-punk stuff came from Joy Division. Bands like Echo and the Bunnymen were big in the 80s. They got their sound from Joy Division. And a lot of the 90s bands, your Radioheads and whatever, they all cite Joy Division. Indeed. Buckaroo Banzai has Googled Wendy James. Right, so B11 is going in the B. Here are the young men, the weight on their shoulders. Here are the young men. Where have they been? Decades. Best closing song on an album ever. David, if you listen to New Order's first couple of albums, you'll see a lot of Joy Division in it. New Order's first single was Ceremony, which was originally written and recorded with Ian Curtis on vocals, but New Order re-recorded it. And the B-side, In a Lonely Place, was the last thing that Ian Curtis wrote. He only wrote a small bit of it, and so they sort of built on it to make the New Order version of In a Lonely Place. So if you listen to the very, very early New Order stuff, it's very Joy Division-y. Okay, John, now compare what Wendy James looks like now to what she looked like in 1990. The Cutter is a great track. Okay, we have a bit of a late vote from Buckaroo Banzai, but that's not going to change it with that A. It's still majority B votes. Okay, we're going to move on to B12. This is Queen's Harvest. B12, Queen's Harvest. Yeah, Joy Division were going to tour America, and he committed suicide on the eve of the tour. He'd been on television, had their first few TV appearances, and a lot of people had complained because he looked like he was high as a kite. He wasn't. He was sort of. He was on very, very strong medication for epilepsy, which was just knocking him sideways. He smoked a bit of weed, drank a bit too much, but he didn't take anything stronger. But his epilepsy medication was just obliterating him, and he was going through. His wife was pushing for divorce because he was having an affair. He was scared of going over to America. He'd collapsed a number of times on stage, and it all got too much, which is a shame. Ceremony is a great track, David. Really, really good. Right, so we've got a B vote for B, two B votes for B12. Yes, Sister Mercy and the Mission, both. Well, the Mission were formed from the Sisters of Mercy. Adams and Hussey fell out with Eldritch. They had a big fight over the name. John, they can be played standalone. They are standalone adventures, but you can play them together. It's one of those. It's like your WG4 and S4 type thing. Ian likes this one. Yeah, Pete Murphy, definitely. I mean, thing is, Bauhaus were very early as well. They were happening alongside Joy Division, so it's at the moment it's ABBC. Yeah. Blue Monday was about 3 years after, 2 or 3 years after Ceremony. The first Blue Monday was 83. Ceremony was 80. I don't know who Wendy O. Williams is. Right, 4 votes at the moment for Queen's Harvest. An A, 2 Bs, and a C. Anybody else want to vote for this one? We're an hour into the video and we come to the end of the Bs. Still a way to go yet. Buckaroo, have you seen the performance of Bela Lugosi's Dead, where Pete Murphy's being dangled by his feet for about 8 minutes in a bat pose while he's singing, and he sings the whole song dangling from the ceiling for about 8 minutes long, upside down. I know you don't like modules, L. It might no. Well, if it does go on to the 11 o'clock Mage, I will stop it because we want to see your premiere. And to be honest, the modules at the end are the IM series, and I can't see any of us really knowing those. Smiths, for me, I like their more jangly songs, the ones that have got a bit more oomph to them. I'm not a big fan of where he's a bit sort of acousticy. The songs I like, What Difference Does It Make, is just a classic riff, absolutely classic riff. Did they? Now, I can tell you in America, because you're calling the Mission UK, because it was a band called The Mission in America. We just simply know them as The Mission over here. Thank you, Edor. But Smiths wise, What Difference Does It Make is a great tune. Great. Big Mouth Strikes Again is another really, really good tune. But I didn't like them in the 80s. That's the thing. I didn't like the Smiths when they came around the first time. I found Morrissey grating. I found him annoying. But I've grown to like them over time. Yes, the more Johnny Marr driven songs than the Morrissey Wine Fests. Jeb, absolutely, you've got it exactly there. Exactly. Yes. How Soon Is Now. It's a great piece of guitar work. Right. Okay. At the moment, it's going to go in B because we've only got five. We've got we've only got 5 votes. It's averaging a B. It's got to go in B as a result. There we go. Okay, your next one is that Ghost of Lion whatever. I can't quite read it. That's one I didn't own. Ghost of Lion Castle. That's what it is. Ghost of Lion Castle. It's one of the solo ones. B solo. Did any of you ever play that? And if so, what do you think about it? I haven't got a clue either. Yeah, Buckaroo. It's on YouTube. 8 minutes live version of Bela Lugosi's Dead with Murphy dangling upside down by his feet. The whole song. It's superb. Absolutely superb. I've just dropped my pen in the bin. Cold Staff likes it. Cold Staff likes this one. We've got an A, 2 C's, and a D so far for Ghost of Lion Castle. Have you noticed the more beer I have, the more my Birmingham accent comes out? Cheers, Slam. Hello, Carvel Society wasn't a solo adventure. Ridley Minotaur was. I had Maze of the Ridley Minotaur, and it was bang average. Meh. Any more votes for Ghost of Lion Castle? We've only got 4 votes at the moment. I knew this would happen with the later ones. A, 2 C's, and a D, so it's going to go in C at the moment. I thought there was only 1 B solo. Unless, well, hang on, there was Blizzard Pass, which it originally came out as M something, and it got rebadged, and I've got it listed down here as M. So it's in the M. It's in my M's. But yeah, Blizzard Pass was another basic solo one. But I've got it later down because it was originally given an M categorization before the Masters modules existed. Okay, so Ghost of Lion Castle is going in C. Right, here we go. We're on to the X series now. X1, the Isle of Dread. I have an idea how this is going to go. I think there might be a few more votes for this one as well, because I'm pretty sure almost everybody who's ever played D&D has some experience of this adventure. I've got Latham's Gold behind me, just here. It's one of the few I've got. I haven't played it yet. Look at all these votes suddenly fly in. You've all been sat there waiting, going, yawn. Don't know B9, don't know B10, don't know B11. Hurry up, geek. Get on with it. Get on with it. Right, let's have a look. We've got 1, 2 S's, a D. Daniel doesn't like it. A B. All the S. Dualumi and Dave Mills both go for S. Thief Keith goes for an A. L gives it a B because he's heard a lot about it. Thomas, you've already voted, Thomas. You can't vote again. Halakar, an S. Chris gives it an A. Ian gives it an S. Dark Winter gives it an S. Carl Staff gives it... Oh, Daniel was joking. Right, okay. Carl Staff gives it an A, and there's an S. Oh, right, okay. It looks like we've got 9 or 10 S's, 3 A's, and 2 B's. There's only one place for that to go. X1, it's great. It is good. It is. It's the first module I ever owned. First module I ever attempted to run. It had dinosaurs in it, and I was an 11-year-old kid when I got that, and I was obsessed with dinosaurs. And yeah, why not? I ran it terribly in 1983. I'd love to run it again, but everyone knows it now. That's the problem. I was going to run it for my face-to-face group, but one of them bought it. Git. Okay, X2, Castle Amber. X2, Castle Amber. What do you reckon to that one? Halakar throws in the S. Carl Staff throws in an A. X2 is an A from Jeb. Another S and another A. It's got more A's than S's at the moment. Buckaroo Bonsai, I think you might be a little bit behind on the stream. Just check you're not lagging about a minute behind. I'm counting. Yeah, it's heading towards A. Okay, it's got 4 S's, and I make that 4 S's and 8 A's at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's 4 and 8. I've just seen this comment here. It was one of the first D&D modules I played, and the DM didn't understand the difference between a coals and fire brazier and a boob holder brazier. So all the tribesmen were holding burning brass. But isn't that one of the joys of innocence of early D&D, when you didn't know what the words meant, so you just made it up? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I don't know if Amber changed from convention to print. Maybe they were tribeswomen. Right. We're currently on 6 S votes, 8 A votes. It's going in A at the moment. Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Thank you for all your contributions. Check out David's blog. He's got some interesting dissections of modules in there and developments. I haven't caught up with it for a while. Been a little bit busy, but I will have to have a look, because the way he takes modules apart it's exactly what they're for. And it takes them apart far more skillfully and far more deeply than I ever could. Right, it's going to have to go in A, because A is just ahead of S. And I'm a little disappointed at that because it's my favorite X module. I have to say that now. X2, Castle Amber. No adventure has ever had as much of an impact on my gaming group. They have so many stories they tell about it. From me, I made one of the NPCs a bard, because I was running it converted to 5th edition. This is back in 2015, before 5th edition went wrong. And I converted. It was a fighter thief type, I believe. She was a thief. I converted him to a bard, and I had him singing French songs. I taught myself a load of French songs, and I was getting them all to join in. Sat at the table, and you hear this voice from the distance approaching. It's a familiar voice, and you hear "Sur le pont d'Avignon," and it's getting louder. It's getting louder. They're like, "Oh God, it's him again!" And he's like, "Ah, you join in with the song." Oh, yeah, okay. That was my DMing of it. Oh, yeah, I've made a mistake there. I've put it in S. That's just it. Yeah, the A votes did win. The A votes did win. Sorry, I put it in the wrong one. Castle Amber is superb. I think it deserves an S. That was a slip on my part, but you have voted to put it in A. I may disagree with that, but I'm going with your votes. Okay, X3, Curse of Xanathon. Halakar, you forced the DM to quit DMing. How dare you? How dare you? Having said that, if me, Nut, and Gingerbeard haven't indelibly scarred Saxius with the way we're playing in his Shadow of the Demon Lord game, then I'll be surprised. Playing, but we're not playing evil so much as we're playing goblin, not comprehending, thinking differently, thinking very practically, and poor old Saxius has to put up with it. He has been tormented. He has been tormented. And it's been wonderful. It has been wonderful. Anyhow. What votes have we got for X3? Curse of Xanathon's worst crime is following X1 and 2. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, after those two, it just feels meh. B. Yeah. It's all the Bs at the moment. Just lots and lots of Bs. So is it going straight in B? I played a few sessions of it. That's it as a player. In that version of X2, I was playing my cleric with Tharizdun, and we had a lawful evil magic user, evil monk, and assassin. Ow! The module's insane enough as it is without you lot going berserk as well. You've got to be a certain type of DM for X2. You really have. You've got to be prepared to go with the weird and the wonderful. And I love weird and wonderful. burn down the entire indoor forest. What did the gold dragon have to say about that? You made X3A. You made it better. I think it needs making better. It's just an exercise in blandness, and it's so bland, and we've had so many B votes that it's just going to get the B now. There we go. Right. Yeah, lots of B votes, a couple of A votes. Moving on to X4, Master of the Desert Nomads. What do you say about this one? No one's saying anything yet, or have I just am I just lagging really badly? X4, Master of the Desert Nomads. What do you reckon? I'll get a sudden splurge of votes in as my my stream catches up. I'm hoping. You might be voting, but I can't see it because my StreamYard hasn't updated for about a minute. Either that or you've all just left and decided you don't want to talk to me. X4 is an A minus. X4 gets an A. B/C. Okay. A B from Dark Winter. An A from Dave Mills. That's okay. Hello, Captain. How you doing? How you doing, Captain? I like these impromptu streams. We have the scheduled Wednesday and Friday one, and it's just, yes, it's planned out, and we have a core of people who come in. Same people every week, which is great. But these impromptu ones, it's nice to see who just sort of drops in, who the names I don't see on a Wednesday and Friday. And there are some. It's nice. It's nice to see new names and people I haven't seen about on a Wednesday and Friday for a while. So I rather enjoy that. I do rather enjoy that. Makes an old geek feel happy. I would feel a lot happier though if StreamYard didn't keep lagging on me though. So any more votes for X4? I said Captain. He said what? We were talking about music earlier, Captain Sensible. With what? Yeah. He was mentioned. The Clash as well. Hello, TK Yang. 2 S votes. Wow. Wow. Okay, so am I going to say when we get to CM1, that's an S vote from you, Halakar? But I'll get that done in advance. Okay, at the moment, my daughter's now drying her hair. So can you hear a hairdryer in the background? She has a lot of hair. This might take a while. Any more votes for X4, Master of the Desert Nomads? At the moment, it's heading towards an A because it's got 3 A's, 2 S's, 2 B's, and a C. They rated it higher than I did yesterday, though. It got almost all B votes from people in chat, so it got a B. TK Yang, I'm going to say now, you are 100%. No, you're 50% wrong with this. 50% wrong with this. The setup is, it's all right. The wilderness stuff, it's linear, it's event-based, but it's fun. But the Abbey part is absolutely superb. I love the Abbey part. Absolutely love it. Any more votes for X4? Are we going to put it in A? Are we going to put it in A? Okay, so we're going to move on to X5. X5, Temple of Death. Sequel to X4. The original finale of the Desert Nomad series before they came out with X10. Carl Staff gives it an A. Buckaroo Bonsai with the late vote. I think you're lagging, Buckaroo. I think you're lagging because you're about 30 seconds to a minute behind everybody. So far we're on A. We're on three A's and a B for X5 at the moment. 4 A's and a B. It does do what it says on the tin. Temple of Death. It causes death. It's brutal. Gene didn't read these ones. A B from Captain. Ooh, it's got 4 A's and 4 B's so far. Hold on. Did I miss out TK Yang's vote? 1, 2. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's 5 A's and 4 B's. Any more votes? Any more votes? I used X5 when I met my face-to-face group. I met them. I was asked to come into a shop to DM for them. They were all fairly new, and they were playing 5th edition. And I wrote a 5th edition campaign. Played them through that. Got to about 5th level, and then I said, okay. We'll continue. I'll prepare some adventures. But what I did was I converted a load of old school modules. And we played the Assassin's Knot, Castle Amber, Master of the Desert Nomads, and Temple of Death. And after having played all of those, I then turned up at Halloween with 1st edition characters and Tomb of Horrors, and says, okay, you've been playing for the last 6 months, you've been playing converted versions of old school adventures. Now you're playing a very old school adventure with old school characters. See what you think. And we then played an AD&D campaign after that because they loved it. But certainly X2 and X4 convert. X2 was tough to convert, but it worked really well. X4 converted so smoothly. L2 was a bit of a iffy one. X5 was horrible to convert, and it completely crucified the party. That's what the campaign ended. One character survived by escaping on the back of his ebony fly. All the others were just obliterated in the temple. Okay, so it's going in A. Personally, I think the Temple of Death is a solid B because there's so much work the DM has to do to get it going. It is a bit of a beast, but it does what it says it's going to, and it is an adventure the way you feel it deserves the work. Right, X6 Quagmire. What do you say to X6? And the wife is arriving and coming to bed. So, what are your opinions on X6? Oh, I haven't played it. I haven't played it either. We've got a B and a C so far. And here's the dog. You haven't played it either, have you, Mist? No. No.
She has.
Can't trust you with dice. You'd eat them.
Yeah, she said roll a 7 on a 6-sided dice.
No, she'd eat the dice.
She says, lie and stick. Oh.
Family Guy. Quagmire, yes. It's got a B and 2 C's and a B/C at the moment. So, oh, an A. Okay. I haven't even skim read it. I've got a PDF of it, but I haven't even skim read any of it. Okay, go to a B. So it's an A, 2 B's, and 2 C's at the moment. Any more votes? We're down to 16 in chat. People are departing. People don't like this latex series. Or maybe they just don't know any of the modules from now on. Or maybe it's dinner time in America. This always happens on Wednesday nights about this time. It uses the same dungeon map for 3 separate dungeons. Isn't that just laziness? Only 5 votes out of the 17 in chat for it at the moment. A lot of people have said they can't vote because they don't know it. X4 and X5 have got an A vote though, haven't they? Booker with Bonsai. So that's fair. I think that's fair. I think A is fine. We are probably are both right. Okay, it's going in B. Let's put it in B. Right. Okay, War Rafts of Kron. X7, War Rafts of Kron. I don't know anything about this one at all, I'm afraid. I've not even skim read any of it. I can't pause, Buckaroo. Sorry. Come back and see Carnage. Yeah, Yes, it's got a great cover and it's on the ocean. That's about as much I know about it as well. Remember, it's got a B and a C. Michael, you can see where they've been put, so just chime in and say where you think they should have gone. Some of the votes were very close on some of those ones that you've missed voting on. But at the moment, War Rafts of Kron has only got 2 votes, a B and a C. People don't seem to know it very well. I do cult stuff. I quite like these as well, this type of adventure, but I say it's not one I've played. Doesn't look like anyone's going to commit to this one because people don't know it. Which is fair enough. Fair enough. See these pile of adventures below as well. I think we're going to struggle. Okay. It is a cool cover. It's only had 2 votes, and we can't really put it anywhere based on 2 votes. We haven't done that with any of the other modules, but anyway, anything based on 2 votes. So I'm going to move on. I've noted down those 2 votes. I'm going to move on. And I'm going to ignore your vote, Thomas, because you've already admitted you don't know anything about it. Okay, we're going to go on to Drums on Fire Mountain. Did anyone ever play Drums on Fire Mountain? So X8. Did anyone ever play X8? We have hit that period of the video where people don't know them. We'd all drifted away from modules, hadn't we, by this time, or all gone over to AD&D or playing other games by the late 80s because TSR had come up with so much rubbish in the mid-80s. Oh, you know this one. X8 is an A- B+. Right, Jeb. You know this one. Okay, yep. Jeb and Thomas, vote away for X8. Drums on Fire Mountain gets an A and an A/B. It's written by Graham Morris from the UK team, so it's got it's one I should read it because I love Graham Morris's stuff. Graham Morris, in terms of module writing, is in the Gygax tier. If it's a typical UK style adventure, then I have to read it. I'll be doing that as soon as possible. Right. The few people who do know it say it's very good. Oh, I picked up the wrong one then. Drums on Fire Mountain is going in A. Until we get more votes for War Rafts of Kron, staying where it is. So the Savage Coast. Does anyone know anything about X9, the Savage Coast? Given that I think Graham Morris's UK3, The Gauntlet, is one of the best adventures ever written, I think I probably would. And he did When a Star Falls as well, which is superb. Sentinel, good adventure. One I've never run, Ravager of Time. I'd like to run it, but okay. So, Savage Coast. I have heard things about this adventure, and Thomas is saying C/D, and that ties in with what I've heard. Yeah, Ravager of Time is brutal. I've read it. I've not prepped it enough, but I've read it. It's because you're the same age as me, Captain. This was when all this came out when we were 16, 17, and other things started taking over. So at the moment, we've got a B and 2 non-committal C/Ds. Any more votes on X9? Seems like Thomas knows he's fairly well. Is it? Oh, a wilderness hex call. Fair enough. Didn't get a lot of those. I'm going to say about 86, 87. But remember, we didn't always get them straight away over in Britain. Things arrived a little later. Yeah. People aren't committing to votes very much, so I'm going to take the average of what I've been given so far, which is there. Okay, Red Arrow, Black Shield. This was a higher level sort of follow-on from the X4 and X5 modules. You voted C/D, and I've got a B and 2 C/Ds, so it's got to go in C. I've heard it should be in a D from various reviews, but by the rules of this stream, it's got to go in C. Right, Red Arrow, Black Shield. We're voting on Red Arrow, Black Shield now. Is this a D for you, Thomas, or is this are you still hammering? D for the module, A for the map. Okay, D then, because we're voting on modules. An A from TK Yang, a D from Daniel. Dark Winter, same with me. I mean, I have skim read bits of it. I've heard it can be good, but I'm not going to commit because I haven't run it and I haven't really studied it. I like the idea, but don't know how it would play out in practice. This is X10 is an A-. War Machine battle system battles between the Duke and Baron. Okay. I think it does depend. I think it depends on whether big battles are your thing. I rather like H1, Bloodstone Pass, because it was a high-level battle module. Don't like the other H series modules, but Bloodstone Pass was good fun. But I quite enjoy battle system. I think I did rather enjoy that. So 2 A's, 2 D's. This is an odd one. You've been watching me consume beers on stream. You're gonna have to give me a moment, because I'm in my 50s and I've had beer. I'm just going to pop to the loo. Can you hear me again? Can you hear me? Am I audible? Blair. Yes, great, brilliant. Okay, superb. I just need to bring the screen back on. There we go. We are back on. Brilliant, brilliant. Right, okay. So you didn't hear me waffling on then. I've clearly had a little bit of an internet wobble. I did say thank you, Dark Winter, for chiming in. Yes, almost every module hinges on the DM. You could have a terrible module, but a really good DM can make something of it, make it work. Doesn't make it a good module, but a good DM can make it happen. All right, so I'm gonna have to hold off on where we put X10 because we've got 2 A votes and 2 D votes. If anyone has not yet voted on X7 and X10 wants to cast a vote, you're more than welcome to. And because we haven't been able to put them anywhere, and we move on to X11, 12, and 13. And I have a feeling these were so late that a lot of you really won't know them. So I want... I won't do anything with a hairdryer. But there was a hairdryer on in my house about half an hour ago. Wasn't for me. So what I want you to do now with X11, 12, and 13 is tell me which ones you know in chat and give me a vote, and I'll try and combine what I see in chat. Colstaff likes X11. I've heard some good things about X12. I've seen a blog which says it's one of the hidden gems, but I don't know it. But given how few votes we've had on X7, X10 to 13, I'm tempted to move on to one we all do. We all know Colstaff likes X12 and X13 as well. If you talked about titles, right? So we've got Saga of the Shadow Lord, Red Arrow, Black Shield, War Rafts of Kron, Skada's Mirror, and Crown of Ancient Glory. Those are the ones that people aren't really knowing much about. But I'm going to move on now to XL2, Quest for the Heartstone. Don't let me down on this one, chat. Really, really don't let me down. XL1, Quest for the Heartstone. One that more of you will know for one reason or another. So we've skipped past 5 of the latex modules because people just generally don't know about them. With X10, we had obviously we had 4 votes, but 2 A votes and 2 D votes. Nothing to separate. 2 people loved it, 2 people hated it. So it's very hard to put it anywhere. So XL1 is Quest for the Heartstone. We have the first vote in, and it's the one I expected to see straight away. Ian, D minus. D minus. Daniel, D. You're getting a big fat nod from me at the moment. Hello, Scott. So we're voting on XL1, Quest for the Heartstone. You'll be kind to it and give it a C. Okay. The kindly old mage. Anyone else want to vote for XL1? I've seen some people genuinely recommend it to people on Facebook and Reddit. People ask, oh, what sort of old modules should we get to have a look at? And people come and say, XL1 was really good. Highly recommend that one. No. Scott, are you giving it a D then? A table flip? I'm going to put that as a D. And with Mage admitting he's being very generous to give it a C. There we go. XL1 gets exactly what it deserves. There were two good things about XL1. One was the shade of purple that was the cover, and two, it had some nice maps in it. I hope they are trolling them. I really hope they're trolling them, because it's genuinely appalling. Right. So we're on to the two solo modules. The first solo one, well, in fact, we've got 6 solo ones coming up. I don't know how much you know about these. We'll see how many votes we get. We'll start with Blizzard Pass. It was originally M1. I believe it was changed to B Solo 1 or B Solo 2. But Blizzard Pass, what are your votes for that? Solo, all Z. Blank. Did anyone play the solo ones? We have a C from Jeb. Yeah, there are quite a few solo adventures. I'll admit I had one of the modules in. I got one of them. I got the Maze of the Riddling Minotaur. Because I was 13 and it had Minotaurs in it. Or was I 14? 13, 14-ish. Exactly. So it looks like Blizzard Pass is getting a C. It looks like it's getting a C. Right. Maze of the Riddling Minotaur. Any votes for that one? Something I did learn. We say Billy no mates in Britain for someone who's got no friends. But in Australia, they say Nigel no friends. So poor old Billy in this country. Poor old Nigel in Australia. The advantage that Fighting Fantasy had, though, was it didn't have the pens, and the mechanics were so simple, and it was very quickly and easily replayable. But if the pens were just... Some of these modules had a viewer, a red strip you put over them instead of a pen. But how long did you manage to keep hold of the viewer and not lose it? If you had a red carpet, you were stuffed. So this is it's not MV1, Scott, but it's Maze of the Riddling Minotaur, which I believe was M2, and then it became M Solo. Oh yeah, MV1 had a red viewer. Yes, it did. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. That was Midnight on Dagger Alley. Okay, Dave's got to go. He's going to give Latham's Gold a C. So, okay, I'm making notes of these. If you've got to go, and right. But anyone want to vote on Maze of the Ridley Minotaur? We've got a C here. I get the idea. And the idea was in the right place, but the execution wasn't great. John Scotto gives it a C. Yeah, if you had a red carpet, you were stuffed. Cheers, Ian. The idea being that an 11 or 12-year-old kid picking up D&D for the first time, you haven't always got your mates around you to play. My best time for playing was with school friends, but I went to a school that was 12 miles away from my house. We used to travel there by train. So 4 or 5 of us used to play on the train with dice bouncing all over the carriage. And then we'd meet up for about 20 minutes during lunchtime to do an encounter. And then on the train on the way home, dice bouncing all over the carriage again. But we lived a distance apart. We'd all get off at different stops and catch different buses to go all over the city. And we were able to meet up about 3 or 4 times a year on Saturdays or Sundays with enough of us to play D&D. And when I say enough of us, I mean 4 of us, maybe 5 if we're lucky. I only knew maybe two people within walking distance of my house who played D&D. Yeah, I went to a posh school. So, I mean, I didn't live in a rural place, but I didn't go to school with people from my area. That was the thing. Obviously, if the guys from school had lived locally, we'd have played every night of the week and never done any homework. But they didn't. We don't have basements in Britain where you can all gather with loads of kids. We had to play on dining room tables with parents standing over going, "Don't scratch the table. It's dinner time in about 20 minutes. You'll have to finish soon." And we've only just started because we've been bickering all afternoon. We didn't, Sausage Toes. We didn't have a D&D club. It was so niche. More people at our school played chess than D&D. More people played bridge. More people in the school bridge club than played D&D. Anyway, any more votes for Maze of the Ridley Minotaur? We're off track. Yeah, that often happened. The dice did go across the carriage, and they were known to disappear out the window occasionally of a moving train carriage. Hello, Gecko. You all right? It looks like people aren't voting for Maze of the Ridley Minotaur, but I do remember all the votes it got early on were C's, so it's going in C. Did anyone play the Gem and the Staff? 01, I think it is. I can't see the image properly. Gem and the Staff, anybody? Anybody know that one? Or are we petering out? Are we hitting all the modules that nobody knows? If I can find a readable PDF, I'll play through these solo and review them at some point. The problem is getting them as a readable PDF. So we have a vote of a C for Gem and the Staff, and it's from Mage. We could do the solos on a Friday if I had them in a readable form. I don't have the physical modules anymore. I don't know what the PDFs of them will look like. So got Latham's Gold behind me. Could feasibly do that one. Just so as you know, in case you haven't seen it, I did put a message in the Discord earlier. We're streaming tomorrow night on the topic of player agency. And then on Friday, I'll be doing Fighting Fantasy. But the following Friday, which is first Friday in April, it's a fundraising night at my daughter's football club. So I'll be going there. Won't be streaming that Friday. Let's see what date it is. Oh, it's Friday the 31st of March. So there will be no Friday stream on the 31st of March because I'll be drinking beer and giving my money to the fundraiser. losing on horses. It's all in a good cause. All in a good cause. Right. So Gem and the Staff. It all looks like it's B's and C's. Now, tomorrow night we're discussing, I mean, the theme is going to be what is player agency? Why has it become such a big thing? And is it as important as people are making out? Those are the main themes tomorrow. And I can say now that I think a lot of people misdefine it. They consider it to be player power over the game, whereas no, it's players having actions that matter. That's what it is in my so we're looking at a B or a C. A middling B. It's B/C. Any more votes for 01, the Gem and the Staff? Because it's got 2 Bs, 2 Cs at the moment. Oh, are we stealing their topic again? Oh, God. Oh, Scott's giving it a B. Right, okay. Okay. So that pushes it into the B category. That pushes it into B. No, to be honest, I don't look at what anyone else's topics are. I put 4 topics up in Discord for people to, because we have a section of Discord for the people who are involved in the streams, and we chat and work out which ones we think would be best for stream. And the 2 that came up as the most popular were one entitled Exploration, the Forgotten Tier, and Player Agency, What Is It? But Omen Owl was the one who wants to talk about the exploration, and he's not able to be there tomorrow. So I'm going to save that one for when it's here. That's how we do it. That's how I've started doing it, throwing up the topics for people to vote on. So we're going to put Gem and the Staff tentatively. It's a tentative B, leaning a little bit towards C. Okay, Blade of Vengeance. Blade of Vengeance. Correct, John. The appearance of player agency is at least as important as true player agency. Yeah, exactly, El. You're exactly right. You're always going to cover a topic that's been covered before. You run out of topics. I've put 4 topics up in Discord. They're the 2 I've just mentioned. One is about playing evil characters, evil games. How do you go about it? And the other one is what defines old school gaming. So those are the 4 that are on the back burner at the moment. We've just gone for player agency tomorrow, probably exploration the week after, and then we'll see what comes up. Those other 2 topics held in reserve. Blade of Vengeance has an A vote there and a B vote. Anybody else? No. Blade of Vengeance. I don't know what Blade of Vengeance. Jim Bambra writes good adventures though. So you're right there. Jim Bambra's done some very good stuff. Jeb reckons it's a B. An evil game is not necessarily about destroying the world. It's about achieving personal goals as a priority over being heroes. It's selfishness over generosity. Excellent. Then I'll take that recommendation to have a go at Blade of Vengeance, because I like Jim Bambra's stuff. I think he's done some really, really good adventures. The best bad guys, not necessarily the ones that think they're a hero, but the ones that believe they're right. They're not just doing nasty stuff for the sake of it. They've got a purpose behind it. And I tell you what, now I've never run an all evil D&D campaign. I'd love to do it because I'm thoroughly enjoying playing a nasty little goblin in Saxis's game on a Thursday night, because we're playing it. Oh, here's General Nut, because Nut will back this. We're playing evil goblins, but they're not. They don't really realise they're evil. They just think differently. Exactly, Thomas. That's exactly what player agency is. You get to decide what you do, and you deal with the consequences. And in true player agency, there will be consequences, whatever you choose to do. It's the player's choices having an impact on the world. Anyway, yeah, save it for tomorrow. No, we in human eyes, no, we are evil, but in our eyes, we're just goblins doing goblin things. doing what needs to be done to survive. And it's wonderful. So Blade of Vengeance has got more. It's going in B, but it certainly leans towards an A because it's got 3 B votes and 2 A votes. Whereas Gem and the Staff was B-. Blade of Vengeance is very much B+. Lathan's Gold, or Lathan's Gold, however you want to pronounce it. It's all down to the perception and who is categorizing the evil. This is the whole average thing here, Thomas, because we've got its average was 2.6, whereas Gem and the Staff's average was 3.4. it's the Is X Solo really the best of the solo modules? So I bought it ages ago and I've never played it. Anyone else want to vote on X Solo? Lathan's Gold, however you want to pronounce it. I don't know if there's an official way of doing so. B, 2 B votes on Lathan's Gold. Okay, is this going to be another high B? I've got no opinion on it either because I've not played it. We're not doing the Oriental Adventures ones. Is Lathan's Gold an Oriental module? I don't know. Let's say B. Okay, Mage. You talking to me, El, about Shona? I've never spoke. Oh, John. Right, yeah. Oh, no, not me. John Scotto. I'm John without an H. Shona has me blocked. And the correct answer, L, is that you have some role play and some dice. You have a mix of the two. And that's what the game is. A mix of the two. It's not all role play and not all dice. It's a mix of the two. Yeah, Shauna just doesn't want to engage with people who oh, has he unblocked everyone? I still don't see his chat comments. I was watching a stream the other night and apparently he was chiming in. I wasn't seeing any of it, so he's still got me blocked. He just doesn't want to hear with yeah, exactly. He was getting no views. If he blocks everybody, then nobody watches him. It's as simple as that. And isn't disagreeing with people is healthy? I would say you're the lucky one, but I don't know because I used to watch some of his reaction videos and they were funny. They were genuinely funny. Him sort of the old fuddy-duddy old man reacting to the new school stuff and taking the mickey out of it. That was funny. But the problem is he went down in my estimations when he just as soon as you say anything that he disagrees with, he just clicks the block button. Right. At the moment, ex solo. Yeah, I'm a John without a H. I'm a Jonathan. Nut, you like both the ones that we've got in D. They're both atrocious. I agree 100% with the D votes. Okay, so no more votes for X Solo. It's another one's going to have to go in B, even though it's scored an average of 2.6. And if it averaged 2.4 or better, it would be an A. All right, Thunderdelve Mountain. This was XS2. Anyone else knows you never see Squirrel Hermit and General Nut at the same time. Actually, I have, and I've spoken to both of them, and I can confirm that if they are the same person, then they're very good at putting on different voices. No, Squirrel Hermit's been on a few of my streams, and I play a number of games with General Nut. We have a rollicking good time in Saxius's game on a Thursday, and he plays in my Merp game on a Saturday as well. And I'm pretty sure I've killed him in a Cthulhu game or two in the past as well. Right, Thunderdelve. Nutty's a good one. A B. Don't know this one. A C, a B, a C. You've got 4 B's and a C. This is a more solid B. Very much a more solid B. So of the people who come into stream chats, the people I've played games with now, Mage's Musings, Omen Owl, General Nut, Saxius, Grumpy Old Slan, AB Mark II, hasn't been in chat for a while, but played a few games with him. Who else has popped in? Graham, played a game with him. Captain, played a few games with Captain. All through the streams and the chat. Oh, see Daisy. Do apologise. I'm hitting nut hides. Nut hide from squirrel so he isn't eaten. And there we go. Look, we've got Nut and Squirrel. We were talking about you. Elle was talking about you. So we have Nut and Squirrel in at the same time. Right. Anybody else who drops in chat that I've played with? I've played with DK. Played a few games with DK. Right. So this is a solid B. Right. We've had Gem and the Staff with a big B minus, Blade of Vengeance and Lathan's Gold B pluses. Thunderdelve Mountain gets a solid B, right in the middle, a genuine B. Okay. Do we do the CM modules? I have played with you, Thomas. Yes, I have played with you. That was in DK's game. Yes, that's right. That's right. Not for very long, though. You disappeared after a while. Right. Do we do these other modules, these CMs, these Ms, and the IMs? Do we know enough about them? I know we already have a vote of an S. No problem, Captain. Whenever you get free, just let me know. The giant robot is a CM. That's CM4, I think. Right. The first one is the Test of the Warlords, CM1. And Halakar was given this an S vote already. You know the one with the red dragon? That's, yeah, I've heard a lot of people say bad things about Earthshaker. That's CM4. But we're gonna see if anyone else knows Test of the Warlords. Trial of the Warlords? Test of the Warlords? I don't know. Ooh, got some good votes for Test. I've heard a lot of good things actually about Test of the Warlords. I mean, it's a blank for me because I've not. I'd stopped with basic D&D by the time Companion came out. My mate bought Companion, Masters, Immortal sets, but we never had any characters go to that level, and we didn't play with pre-gens or anything, so never happened. But at the moment, Test of the Warlords looks like it's going to get a good high grade. If anyone else would like to vote for it, you're more than welcome. You should share this stream with your players so they're mage, so that they can see what you're saying about them. And now would be being all this old school, would be a really good time to shill for the fact that I'm starting an OSE game in Discord, playing fortnightly on Saturdays. So if anyone fancies playing OSE, it's going to be an adventure I've written and I'm in the process of writing. And we might rotate DMs at some point. A little homemade setting that I've just thrown together. And the people in the game are named after channel regulars. Provisionally, the session 0 is set to start around 2 o'clock a week on Saturday. We don't have a fixed time for the game happening yet, but I'm just going to be online all day that Saturday for people to drop in just to chat about the game, to talk about what people want, what time suits them, whether to run purely in Discord or use Roll20 as well. I just want to chat about that sort of thing and create characters with people as well, so that everyone's got a little group of characters that we've all created together. So there's nothing set in stone yet, other than it's going to be alternate Saturdays. It's more likely we're going to run Saturday evenings, I think, my time, but we'll see. Right, I'm going to take the average then for CM1, which is an A. Did anyone play CM2, Death's Ride? I know nothing about it whatsoever. Every edition's GM guide. Yeah. My opinions of the GM's guides of every edition. First edition AD&D. It's a hot mess of a book, but it's so good. Best book ever. Second edition. Much better laid out, much more easy to understand. So boring. I haven't read third and fourth. Fifth edition is actually a very, very good DM's guide that nobody uses. It's one of their best books, and nobody uses it. The players have all the power now. But there's some really good stuff in the fifth edition DM's guide. And it's a shame because it's ignored. Okay, I'm going to go quite quickly through this. Everybody so far has voted a C, apart from Halakar, who's voted a B. Welcome back, Halakar. It's going to get a C because that's where most of you sit. Right, Saber River, the one with the big dragon on the front. CM3. Anybody know this one? A B from Brave Sir Gecko. Oh, Daniel likes this one. Daniel really likes this one. An S and two Bs so far. No, I've never, I don't think I've even seen a physical copy of it. Cheers, Captain. See ya. So, Halakar, if you're still driving, get off your phone. Lose your license over here for doing that. Unless are you on hands free? Is this you're talking into chat? Someone else who pops in the chat who I play with. How did I forget? Duralumin plays in the MERP game. And Brian James plays in the MERP game. Yeah, so it's been great since I've had this channel. Lots of new people to play with. All good fun. Any more votes for CM3? Because at the moment it's got 2 B votes, a C vote, and an S vote, which unfortunately, Daniel, means it's going in B. It all depends. Anyone else wants to vote? A lot are going in B because of generally lack of knowledge. Okay. I think this is one that people tend to know from this range. Stompy Robot, CM4, Earthshaker. What are your votes on this one? Exactly, Mage. Daniel's got a bit of vitriol. We've got a D from Gecko. I have a feeling Stompy Robot isn't going to get a high rating. D- from General Nut. Yeah, I can see where this one's going. Earthshaker was not popular. I don't think I've ever read a good review of it. Shall I just slap it in D now? Shall I just slap Earthshaker in D? I think I will. There we go. Okay. Do any of you know CM5, Mystery of the Snow Pearls? I know a little bit about CM5. Halakar saying C minus. For CM5 or CM4? CM5 was a solo module with a magic viewer at companion level. If that sounds like a really, really bad idea, it was. I don't think we're about to rate it because people don't seem to know it, but I've read reviews that say it's as bad as XL1, it's as bad as the Forest Oracle, it's as bad as Castle Greyhawk. It's in that tier. Oh, Scott gives it a C. Scott's being nice to it. Scott. Okay, take it you disagree with the reviews. You think it's sort of near average. The reviews I've seen of it are really, really brutally horrific. Halakar, you're lagging. We're on CM5 now. Exactly. Look, how do you play that level solo? It's a what the hell. Yes, but you could go D. Yes, Scott. Yes. We know you're biased against. Some solo stuff can be okay. It serves a purpose, El. It serves a purpose. But I have a feeling that we're not going to get many votes for anything else now. Because these are the adventures that came out very, very late when a lot of us had moved on to AD&D, other things, beer, girls, that sort of thing. What I am going to say is, if you ever want to see an example of abysmal cover art, then the Endless Stare, that's CM8, is just, it takes the biscuit. The heads aren't glued on correctly. It's an appalling picture. But I don't think we're going to be able to rate pretty much many of the remaining modules. They just have to sit there. I should have put another category in here for unknown, because simply they aren't well enough known. I believe it's an Elmore cover as well, The Endless Stare. It's an Elmore cast-off piece that he signed off with a fake name because it just went wrong. That's what I was told. But if you'd like to cast your eyes over that tier list, we only have 3. It's fair to say that none of these remaining modules are going to get into the Geek tier. And we've only got 3 modules in that Geek tier: Lost City, Night's Dark Terror, and the Isle of Dread. And then with In Search of the Unknown, Keep on the Borderlands, Rahasia, Castle Amber, Master of the Desert Nomads, Temple of Death, Drums on Fire Mountain, and Test of the Warlords, all falling into nerd tier. And you've said some very strong things about some of those modules. I don't know I don't know X8 and CM1 very well, so I'm going to have a look at those, and Rahasia as well. I don't know it very well, so I have to have a look at that. And certainly some what you've said about Blade of Vengeance and Lathan's Gold. I want to have a look at those as well now, because you've told me positive things about them. And if I have a day off on a Monday or Tuesday, I could possibly play them through myself, solo. For the purpose of the channel. Anyway, we have a premiere coming up. Mage's Musings has a new video coming out in 15 minutes, if I've got my time right. So now would be a really good time for me to end this stream, pop to the toilet again, get myself a fresh drink, and settle in to enjoy a bit of Mage's Musings. And I think all of you lot should do the same. I want to thank everybody who's taken part in this tier list tonight. There's a lot we can't rate. I knew that was going to be the case. I'll do another one of these for AD&D modules from 84 to about 86, 87 as well. How do you find him? He is Mage's Musings on YouTube. Just look up Mage's Musings. I do put a link actually in some of our Wednesday discussions. I put a link to Elfbait's channel and Mage's Musings channel in some of them, so have a look. You'll be able to link directly to his channel from there. So I'll see you over on the other stream in a bit, but thank you all for joining in and voting. It's been just a fun evening, just a bit of a chat. Hope you've all enjoyed it. I'm going to end this stream now. I'll see you tomorrow night.